Hi, I'm Sai.
And I'm Subhash, and this is our third episode of our podcast, Indian Tech Support.
This should post right after our second episode. Please do watch that one first. Not for any reason, but we still need views.
Yes, so these two episodes are supposed to correlate with one another. You don't need to watch one to understand the other.
It's just recommended.
Yes. So what is your favorite TV show? TV show is the topic for today's episode. So what is your favorite TV show?
I actually have a few. I prefer animated stuff like cartoons. I do have a favorite podcasts and everything, but that's not really in today's episode. I really like stuff like Rick and Morty, Adventure Time. Adventure Time is a good one.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically just Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, Cobra Kai. That's really just a Netflix original, but still.
Right.
I used to like some other things, but Cartoon Network's kind of gone to Shisa, so we don't really talk about that.
Yeah. So my favorite TV shows, I have a couple. They're all NBC TV shows, actually.
NBC.
Yeah. So Friends, The Office. The Office is actually going to be a big part of what I'm going to be talking about. So Friends, The Office, Parks and Rec, The Good Place, and Community.
Fun fact: Subhash held my late frog Kyle hostage in order for me to watch Friends. I hate sitcoms, but that one was pretty decent.
Yeah. So do you want to start us off for today's episode?
Oh yeah, actually let's talk about Friends, then we'll diverge into other things. I guess. Who's your favorite character? Let's let our biases show first.
Okay, my favorite character is Chandler because I think I could relate to him the most. I think I could relate to him the most.
My favorite character is Joey. We have similar brain capacities and we both like food.
Yes. It's showing.
Yeah. I also like Ross, just because...
Actually...
Did you know gas is, did you know they actually put the, scent in gal?
Yeah, and the stove gas or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they sent it with rotten eggs.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I do know a bunch of random trivia facts, so I could relate to Ross more.
Yeah.
Nah, Chandler's still gonna be my favorite.
Chandler's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Ross, I feel like Drake from that one SNL episode, which is like, Ross is up.
Something that's great about Friends is that even if there's no audio at all, you're still able to understand exactly what's happening.
Oh yeah, I also like how everything flows so easily. You actually think these guys are real friends and everything.
Yeah,
they just have great chemistry. And also, what's really great is just the roles that each are playing. They just embody their roles so well. Joey, loud Italian, pretty funny, but doesn't try to be funny. Chandler, sarcastic, but has a bland office job.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty funny. It's kind of a gag, but not really. Ross, awkward, semi-smart. He's a paleontologist off a bet. Monica and Jennifer Aniston. Rachel. They're just really best friends, and you could really believe it. And Rachel actually, she really embodies her role. I just don't know how. She just does. She is her role, I guess.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
They made some really good picks for the cast.
They made good picks. This could also be something bad about the show, though. It could each character embodies a certain type of person, and in that way, it could just be characters that are stereotypes that are just in the body of a character, which some may seem as bad, but it's still a great show if you just look past that.
I mean, which came first, Friends or the stereotypes?
The stereotypes?
Whatever, sure. Whatever.
What kind of question is that?
I think. Yeah, but they kind of work in this, and they add so much more character. I don't think it's just fair to pass them off as a stereotype, because each character, whether you realize it or not, has a pretty good amount of depth to each other. And but what I don't like is how certain roles follow characters around. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he will be forever known as the Terminator. That's not really a bad thing because he was cut in that movie. But then again, Jennifer Aniston, she's constantly known as Rachel. Like, uh,
And she's constantly, I mean, I don't know if bullied is the right term, but she is bullied for the Rachel hair from
oh
season one.
yeah. Oh, I saw that one SNL skit. It was hilarious, man.
Yeah, some things that are to take note of are that like laugh tracks are extremely unnatural, and
Yeah.
it's it's like
It's not. It was very 1990s though.
it is, but
Also, the scenery with like a
shows
Central
that
Perk.
shows that do it now, like or did do it now. I don't know if the Big Bang
Yeah.
Theory is over. Is it?
No.
Okay. Well, that show sucked.
It, Big Bang, dude. The jokes were.
No, laugh track unnatural. Every show has done it, and they're done with it.
I mean,
Shows around its time stopped doing it. The Office didn't do it.
Friends had some like pretty unnatural. Friends had some pretty unnatural.
If you just remove the laugh tracks from any show that had laugh tracks,
it'd be funnier.
it would be funnier, but for the wrong reason. It would be funnier because they're unnatural pauses.
Just awkward silences. Yeah, I agree with that.
The thing with Friends, though, that's different about other shows,
Yeah.
is that it was filmed in front of a live audience. I'm not sure about the Big Bang Theory, but I'm pretty sure it's just recorded laugh tracks.
Yeah, it is. Like every time a laugh track goes on, you could actually hear it. Like, and also, some aspects were like very grown up. Some aspects are like pretty childish, like the one with Joey and like Ross and Rachel eating pie off a floor. But
I
like,
think it was a cake, but yeah.
no, it was a pie. It was like
Sure, yeah, continue.
But whatever. Like, how do I say? I was gonna say something before.
Pies.
No, not. I think a lot about. No, okay, whatever.
But
like then again,
yeah.
like it's very 1990s of them. Like they do like laugh tracks and like unnatural sound effects, not side effects. Like when they're panning into the to their like building. I found that kind of weird. But like they're not Johnny Test bad. Like whiplash, 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 whiplash.
The thing with laugh tracks is that they take away from the story.
I mean, yeah, it makes it feel more unnatural.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're. I mean, although the characters in Friends actually did seem like friends, it didn't seem like you were watching real people. It seemed like you were watching, like, people acting.
It seemed like forced.
Yeah.
Their acting never seemed forced outright. Like, in some spots, you could tell that, like, characters really didn't want to be there.
I mean, granted, we're not ones to talk because, like, we aren't actors. We wouldn't know what it's like to be on set.
We're not actors, but we're consumers, dude. Like,
I mean, we understand, but
bro, we watch way too much TV.
To be on set and to do that acting in front of a live audience too.
Yeah,
it probably makes you force out like whatever you have to do.
You're right. But like then again, we're just here to critique. We're not here.
Yeah,
we're not here to sympathize, bro. I mean, you have a heart. I'm not too sure myself. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
I'm just saying like some parts are forced, but like other parts are like pretty natural, and I really love some of the aspects of this show in general.
Yeah. So I have a favorite genre of TV show. I know like certain people don't consider TV shows to have genre, but I have a favorite genre for a TV show, and it's the style of mockumentary.
Mockumentary.
You can find it in shows like The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or what's it called?
I've actually never
Parks
watched
and Rec.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I haven't watched it either. I heard it's a good show.
Parks and Rec, like, from what little I did watch, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy how certain characters openly support Joe Biden. What?
With certain shows, obviously there are pros and cons, but
Yeah.
The Office, I mean, obviously it didn't pioneer the style of mockumentary, but it was one of the shows to do it good.
Wait, what's that one with like penguins surfing? That one movie?
Penguins
It was like a mockumentary.
And I don't
Flippers or something? I don't know.
It's probably like Happy Feet or something.
Yeah, Happy Feet.
No, Happy Feet was about the penguin that dances.
No, sorry.
I don't know.
There's this one mockumentary.
There are a bunch of penguin movies. I don't know.
You're right. Actually, you're right.
So
I digress. Mockumentaries are a great style because it feels so realistic.
Yeah, and with The Office, you could actually see that characters develop and have deep and meaningful relationships.
Also, like, but then again, mockumentary. This is the last time I'm getting hung up on mockumentaries.
I'm gonna be talking about that a lot. So
Fine, whatever. I'm just saying it's not necessarily good. Like, for example, like those interview things that they have in a lot of those British TV shows.
They also have it in The Office and in Parks and Rec. And
Also, yeah, those document
like the talking heads, yes.
that's good, but like not when like it's overdone, like in Jersey Shore
Yeah,
or like
for
in
certain shows, yeah, it's actually
played out.
It interrupts the story. It's like the laugh tracks. It interrupts the story.
Like in Ink Master, I mean, Ink Master, it's decent. I would prefer without it.
The thing with The Office is actually it did it well.
Yeah, but unlike Jersey Shore or something, or like MasterChef. MasterChef did it decently.
And with the mockumentary style, most shows don't actually do this, but The Office did. What The Office did is they had the cameramen actually be characters.
Really?
Yeah, one of the episodes in The Office, I don't remember which one it was. It was where, this is going to be a spoiler, but just for this one episode. The Office, this one episode had a, something in Michael Scott's office. It had something in his office, and he usually does his talking head interview in his office.
Yeah.
So, and because whatever was in there, it smelled terrible. No one wanted to be in that part of the office. Yeah. Or that part of the general workplace. So, when he was doing his talking head, he was in his office.
Yeah.
And when he says, "Oh, I can't do this anymore," even though the thing was cleaned out, the smell was still there. He couldn't do it anymore. He came out of his space.
Yeah.
And we see that the cameraman zooms out, and he's outside of Michael's office. He's outside of Michael's office because he, too, as a character, couldn't stand the smell of what was in
I also
his
really
office.
like some of the smaller shows that do mockumentaries, like, not shows, but, like, parodies. Like, I really like Brandon Rogers. Brandon Rogers, one of my favorite creators on YouTube. Actually, I might take that back because I want to get into college. But Brandon Rogers, he's pretty cool. I love some of his stuff. One of his mockumentary things is like he has like The Office Christmas Party, which I thought was pretty damn hilarious. And Brandon Rogers, like the one that they all visit the park. I thought like the introductions to each of the characters. I thought that was hilarious. In like I thought it was just great the way he utilized it. And overall, like the little cutaways where you get to know a character, they can be like ridiculously played out and dry, or they could actually add some new depth to a character.
Yeah. So something that people actually didn't like about The Office when The Office first started was that, I mean, the first season was bad. It was trying to be
a documentary show.
Not a documentary show. It was trying to be its older sibling show, older sister show, the British
darker one.
Yeah, the British version of The Office. And with the British humor, there's more cynical stuff. So The Office tried to do that, but with American audiences, that just didn't work.
Tories.
So that obviously didn't work. So when the second season came around, they made everything a lot lighter. They just had different personalities than what they had in
it never
the first season.
It wasn't primed towards an American audience. Like
the British show was I think it was a 2-season 12-episode miniseries.
People watch sitcoms for like mostly just comic relief or like to know a story. But like if you really want to get like with more cynical, like casual cynical stuff, you really want to there's not really a place for casual cynicism, really. Like, your best bet's with, like, Adult Swim, but then again, like, with Adult Swim and, like, Robot Chicken, Rick and Morty, it needs to be more... It needs to be, like, more of a, very noticeable, but kind of, funny sort of cynicism, like, that Rick has.
Yeah, and
Rick and Morty.
And since the British version only lasted 12 episodes, it was only focused around... two salesmen and the boss and the receptionist.
Yeah.
since the American version lasted 9 years,
Mm-hmm. Oh
um,
yeah, that's amazing
they
how like a
had
show can go on that long.
yeah, and they had to try and find ways to incorporate other characters. It wasn't just 12 episodes; it was more than that.
Yeah.
So they had to try and find ways to make it work.
Yeah, that's actually pretty hard to do with like writing a character that people care about is very hard. And when you have like such well-defined characters that aren't that don't just have like a bland gimmick. Like for example, who's that one guy that like, during the CPR scene, cut open and
Oh,
harvested?
Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight. I love that he's me, just, he
He's just a more emphasized version of you.
yeah, also I don't have a huge I used to not have a huge forehead.
Used to not have.
Well,
Okay,
I got a shitty
yeah.
haircut, bro. I can't
So
blame me.
since so like I was saying with the British series, since it was so small, it only needed to focus on certain characters. The Office had a problem with, like, the American version had a problem with it. Uh, they had so many characters, and they lasted 9 seasons. They needed to find ways to make different characters work.
Yeah,
And
that's very hard to do.
Yeah, it was hard to do, but they did it well up until Steve Carell left the series.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Carell tried to help get other characters into the spotlight and had helped the other characters, like, sort of do well.
Yeah.
And uh and
Yeah, and like honestly, like, that's The Office in general. I think like, let's that's just mockumentaries, and like again, mockumentaries are great for that. Do you have any closing remarks about mockumentaries?
um actually no, I want to keep going about documentaries.
Okay, fine.
I mean, if you have something
I
else,
want to talk about the Adventure Time and like stuff.
we can talk about that in a second. So the thing with The Office, since it had so many characters, Steve Carell helped. As soon as he left, they didn't know how to deal with all of the characters, and something that they did with especially Kevin, which was one of the larger people in The
Yeah.
Office.
He's more involved.
He was more involved in the
Was.
beginning of the series. Like, he had a relationship. He was thought to have skin cancer. Like, he had a whole
Yeah.
episode dedicated to that. He got into another relationship. There was a bunch of storylines connecting to him. And as soon as Steve Carell left the show, he became the dumbest version of himself possible.
Yeah, and like I don't know why they did. They just played him out like anyone on Paradise PD.
Yeah.
He just kind of became a worse version of himself. Plug for Brandon Rogers.
Yeah, and so one of the people working on The Office was Michael Schur, and he made a bunch of other shows. Like I said, like I previously said, Parks and Rec. And that show, he corrected the mistake of The Office and had small characters. Since small characters had no story, they had no need. So he corrected this, and he made sure every character had a story of their own.
Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like one person I really liked during out the entire like I wish that they just kept to like something. I feel like they would have done way better if they kept something like less dramatic, but something that could actually happen that isn't just overplayed out. I feel like after Mr. Scott left, Steve Carell, I think.
Yeah.
After he left, there was kind of a schism. There was a power schism. They didn't know who to fill it with, and I feel like I don't know. I don't think it should be replaced with someone totally new.
No, they didn't replace it with someone.
I know.
They replaced it with Andy.
I know they replaced it with Andy. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he should have been replaced with someone totally new. I just feel like someone to film the power gap better.
I think the show, like, people say the show died when Steve Carell left. Yeah, sure, it could have.
Maybe they should have
instead
actually ended it there with like a closing episode. Of,
yeah, they could have had it like that. So what I liked about the very last episode, even though there are like 2 seasons of like, this is just my opinion, complete garbage. 2 seasons of complete garbage.
That's one very blunt way to put it, Subhash.
The last episode was great. After Steve Carell left, instead of having like a bunch of different people trying to replace his role. They could have just had the last episode appear then, like where Dwight Schrute became manager, and then he and Angela got married.
That would have been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But then again, we wouldn't have the epic scene with like Dwight is no longer with us.
Yeah, but
he's moved on to a different department.
No, but the thing is, Michael Scott did that as soon as he during the episode where he hit Meredith with his car.
Yeah.
He did the exact same thing, and sort of what the people who were writing the story for The Office, they tried to make Andy the new Michael, but Michael was dumb.
Michael was irreplaceable.
He was irreplaceable, but he was he
king.
wasn't smart. And Andy's like, he went to Cornell. He was obviously smart,
Yeah.
and they had to dumb him down like by 15 times.
I know. Andy actually had way more potential than, like, in my opinion, a lot of the characters.
If they made him an actually good manager and they had him actually be smart, like he actually was, then
he'd be a good contrast with, like, the rest of the Office's general. How do I put this? Lack of higher brain functions.
No, there are some smart people in the Office.
I know, but they don't apply that smartness well.
Right, yeah.
Where have we heard that one before?
You.
That was subtle. But whatever. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, the power vacuum was hard to fill, and I feel like they made bad decisions with that. Michael Scott was like the King Zog of from Dreamland. He was the King Zog of The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to replace.
Yeah, so going back to how the British counterpart was like more cynical, that doesn't work with American audiences. So The Office had to make some changes in season 2, and those changes were to like be more optimistic and have Michael be better at his job, and people are nicer to Michael. And each episode they would, like, let's say everyone hates Michael, each episode they would have Michael end on a happier note.
Then again, that trope can get played out very easily.
And the thing with mockumentaries, although like if you were to have that be a movie, it's easier to believe because it's only one sitting. With a TV show, it's harder to do that, and that's one of the struggles that The Office had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And they handled it well.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's a huge point.
Yeah, so
overall, like, when this has been 20 minutes of talking about The Office, let's
Yes.
talk about something else. Anyways, some things I'm really passionate about, like, is good animation, and I love how, like, one of my favorite shows of all time. They would probably my top 3, from lowest to highest. That would probably Boondocks is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Rick and Morty second best.
Yeah.
And what's that one? It's Mabel and
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Oh my god, I love Gravity Falls. And like Dan Harmon and like Justin Roiland.
I think Dan Harmon actually worked on. Didn't he also work on Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he actually worked on one of my favorite TV shows, Community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a little bit of fallout between him and some of the executive producers.
It's kind of like the thing that happened with the Boondocks and like Fox
in the 5th season. But he came back for the 6th season and he like sort of revitalized the show. But
which is your favorite like actual like channel? Like personally, I really like Adult Swim because they give their artists
channel or show
channel. The Adult Swim really gives their people so much intellectual freedom. They don't force anything down their throats like Cartoon Network, even though they're practically the same thing. But whatever. I like, for example, they gave the creator of the Boondocks, what's his name? I forget it, back of my head. But they gave the creator of the Boondocks so much creative freedom. They actually, told him to try to step up his animation game. They emphasized that it's really good what they have there. And like with Rick and Morty, like Justin Roiland, Dan Harmon, they could do a lot of great things that they wouldn't be able to do on, say, Fox.
Right. Yeah. So my favorite channel is NBC. I mean, I don't really watch like their actual news or whatever.
No one has cable, bro.
I don't actually watch their news. I just like the TV shows that they produce. For example, Friends,
Yeah.
Office, Parks and Rec. I said this all before. Friends, Office, Parks and Rec, Good Place, and what else? There's another one. Community.
Community.
Community. Like I said, made by not made by, but Dan,
Co-signed by, I guess.
Dan Harmon
Mhm.
worked on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it's pretty great. It I don't know. I really like channels that emphasize, creative integrity, like, making your work good
Yeah.
overall. Like, I mean, I'm a sucker for animation. I really like animation
Hmm.
with like the Boondocks, basically black anime. I'm not even gonna lie on that one. I loved it. Um, I also like, Rick and Morty. It has very cynical views, but it's so cynical, it's funny. Has very deep topics that it takes a very large mind to comprehend. You need to. It's full of subtleties. I'm sorry. Wait, where have I heard this before? Copy pasta. Anyways, Rick and Morty is just an amazing show filled with great jokes. I love everything about it. Jerry kind of sucks. Um, uh, Gravity Falls.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not the only one who noticed this, but like great soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly like it fits it so well, and like even lighting, like animation wise, it fits the bill so perfectly. It fits this bill, the
Hmm.
the, the cipher,
Yeah.
the bill cipher very perfectly.
Yes.
Um, I wish there was like more than like 2 seasons, but I wouldn't want it to get ruined. Um, yeah, I just love these shows with a passion because they have so much creative integrity, I guess, with their work. They actually try to make it good.
Hmm.
And also like the crossover stuff with like just like the crossover stuff with Rick and Morty and Gravity Falls is pretty funny.
So this isn't about TV shows, but this is just something that I find like
Funny.
it isn't something that I find funny. It's just something that I've seen. So there, you know how there are those YouTube channels that like make slime every 5 seconds.
Regrettably.
Yes. So what? So they're obviously cash grabbing because they're making that much money. They're not making that much money. They're
No, they're
posting that
making
many.
lots of money.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're obviously making a lot of money, but
Bright Side, all these content
they
farms
they
are.
post like 2 videos every single day.
We can have an entire. We you know we will post another video
Just talking about all of the channels.
content farms. Okay, keep posted on that one. But right now, okay, we're not
yeah,
done.
yeah, we're not done.
We're not done. But no, let's save content farms for another
Yeah.
episode because I got like some John Doyle level rants.
Yeah, but like you have those children channels, not necessarily content farms, but
The ones geared for children, but like are looking for that Krusty Krab scheisse.
yes,
That money.
So there are those channels that are just like loud noises, and kids find that funny. The thing is, they aren't even able to conceptualize humor
That's why they
yet.
got like Kofta or Kofta or whatever. What's it? Kappa.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Kids aren't able to process reality, so they have.
They aren't not reality.
Loud
They aren't
noises, bright colors.
They aren't actually
stupid music.
like they aren't able to process like actual humor. Like they think they understand anything that's funny, but no, they just find loud noises funny.
Pretty much.
Like it's just me screaming. Like what?
I mean, I guarantee you, someone will find that funny.
And that's why like 2-year-olds, not 2-year-olds, but like
literal infants click on this stuff. Like, dude, embryos. Embryos are watching Troom videos, not because they actually ever use any of their so-called life hacks to bring like a hamster into like a cinema, or like a little cactus or whatever.
yeah, but
They'll never use it, but like they're attracted to the bright colors and like the dumb music and
yeah,
the weird
the kids that
English.
are watching those, I mean, obviously they're for kids. The kids that are watching those channels, they aren't able to comprehend humor yet. So that's why when they see adults or kids that are a little bit older than them actually watching something that is funny and they don't find it funny, they're like, "Oh, those kids that are older than us, those adults that are older than us, they're stupid. They don't understand humor.
Yeah.
They think that they're the smartest people in the world."
I can relate to that. Like when I was a kid, like 6 years old, I said, Yo, why is dad watching the news? I'm never gonna watch this stuff ever. Bro, by age 11, I was taking political internships, bro. That's not normal for a kid my age.
I mean, for some
Bro,
people,
dude,
people's minds just process at different rates, but that's not
yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, there are people who think they understand something, but like, they think they understand something, but
They can't fathom how much they don't know.
yeah.
We've seen this stuff over and over again, Hunter Avalon. With like, you know, you. There's this great quote by Jordan Peterson, one of my idols, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. When you're in a debate or like any sort of conversation, assume you're the person that you're conversating with knows something that you don't. And like kids, they don't really know that. And if you think about it,
Yeah, kids think that they know everything.
yeah, and like I'm gonna take a page out of Donald Glover, also known as
What's his name?
from
Okay, don't.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Donald
yes.
Glover. He said, if you think about it,
he was also in Community.
I will.
No, he was in Community.
How dare you?
No, but
Anyways, yeah, Donald Glover. He's a comic. I follow him. He said this very awe-inspiring phrase: "Children are like little Hitlers. They don't have any concept of like, oh, this is bad, this is wrong. I'm not gonna punch that person in the face because I wouldn't like it if he punched me in the face." And
yeah, they don't have actual like morals that they follow by.
Bro, if 2-year-olds could talk, they would be cussing their moms out.
Yeah,
all the time. Like if you see like a little kid in or what used to be Toys R Us, Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey mom, I want you. No, like if kid screaming and scrying, they don't know how to communicate. If they did know how to communicate,
they would be like,
"Yo, why the hell you taking that Yu-Gi-Oh from me? Give it to me right now, or else you are so screwed, so screwed. I'm gonna get dad, and he will beat you. You're screwed, woman."
Yeah, and I'm gonna poop my pants, so you're gonna have to clean my diaper. That is how they think.
How would you know that, Subhash?
Because I was a former baby.
So you wanted to poop your pants so your mom would clean that up?
You think I was smooth brain then? I was smooth brain.
Dude.
You're still smooth brain.
Hey, come on. I'm not smooth brain. My brain has the consistency of Jiffy peanut butter.
Yeah, so we've sort of like went off topic by that point.
I don't even know what we were talking about half this time, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, this has been great. We've been a little bit over. I think we're gonna have a talk soon about content farms like Troom Troom, Brightside, XYZ, Watch Mojo.
Just like a bunch of channels that post a lot a day.
Basically, like internet. They're like grifter monopolies.
Yes. Also. Announcement, we have a Twitch. We'll be streaming on that every now and then.
Yeah, will be in the bio.
It won't be like our usual podcasting stuff. It'll be us like
just casual.
Yeah, we'll be speaking to each other, but we'll also be like reacting to stuff. We'll be playing games, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be in our about section and hopefully in the description of this video. Make sure that you watched our previous podcast episode, which should be up before this one.
Yeah. Anyways, this should be it. Peace in the Middle East. Free Ross Ulbricht. I've been Sai.
And I'm Subhash. One last quick announcement.
That is against the rules. Okay. Whatever, say it.
So we should be uploading twice a month, once in the beginning of the month and once at the end of the month. So every now and then be on the lookout for our episodes.
Because YouTube is kind of scheisse at giving people their notifications.
Please subscribe.
Anyways, I'm gonna end now.
Okay.
Peace in the Middle East. Free Ross Ulbricht. I've been Sai.
And I'm Subhash.
And this has been the Indian Tech Support Podcast.
Thank you.
Goodbye.